Hello everybody and welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. So if you guys haven't already seen, on Steam, Dark and Darker's reviews are currently mixed. Now there's a simple reason for that, and I think it comes down to marketing. So the game is currently marked as free to play, and then people are getting in and they're going, wait, this is more like a demo than it is like free to play. It wasn't in the Steam page. They've since updated it to have a explanation, but the explanation is still not clear. It says 15 redstone shards you gotta pay to buy the full version of the game, but people don't know how much a redstone shard costs, so I think they could be a little bit more clear with that it's $30. I also think a little bit of regional pricing would be good, although they need to be careful with that because, quite frankly, there is a lot of monetary incentive to cheat in this game when you are able to trade items over to other players for real-world money off of something like eBay or something like that. So if people could get it for $3 a copy in countries that are a little bit poor, they might have a struggle. But real quickly though, free-to-play, guys, for anyone who's new to the game, free-to-play gives you full access to normals on one character. Now, that said, I will say that a premium account does still have an advantage in normals, and that is because pay-to-plays can have multiple characters and they can swap items over between accounts. So if they find an item that is for a different character, they can swap that over. Now, what I am seeing an issue with, though, is free-to-plays are seeming to think that green items can be used by pay-to-play players in the normals lobbies. That is not the case. So a while ago, they actually tried out restricting the gear to, I believe it was blues, to see, hey, if that would work in normals and give players a taste of the game without it being the whole HR caboodle. What ended up happening is players would min-max with certain stats that were really good on those blue items, and then all the brand new players or anyone who wanted an easier experience just got beaten the absolute crap out of and did not have a good time. So they ended up with this, whereas now you're restricted to grays and white items, so you can get slightly better items, but that's about it. And it adds for a much more balanced gameplay experience. Now, I personally prefer HR because I like it being less balanced, but I think a balanced gameplay experience is really good for new players because, quite frankly, it's really hard to understand what to exploit about those balancing issues if you are a new player. So you will get beaten up if someone else knows the exploits to go after. And then I see another issue of, because they don't understand they can't take green items into the game and they have no ability to take green items into the game, they will replace like their starting gear items with green items like I have done here, right? And now I could just go into the store and buy new items. I know how to do that. But I think a lot of these newer players aren't so savvy for how to do that. I honestly just didn't care, so I'm just running in with this because it slows you down wearing extra items anyways. But a lot of them are just like, wow, I got all that gear and it doesn't even work in normals. I think a good solution for this would be to allow the green or blue items to be taken in, or any color of item to be taken in, but just make certain it converts into a white level of strength if it is in a normal lobby and gets taken in. So let's say you go in with an entire green set. All of your greens will just function as white items as you are in the lobby, in a normal lobby. And it should give you a warning if you're going in with those items on that, hey, those items might be more valuable and they will only function as white items in normals. And that might be a good solution for this problem. Now, that said, though, that's more of a minor issue. I don't think that's actually all that big a deal. Also, another thing is, this game is just really hard for new players, and that's just the nature of the beast with extraction games. They could put together like a tutorial or something. I also think we as a community could come together and create a fairly good tutorial or system or something along those lines that would make things way easier. And I think it'd be good if we did do something like that because new players do need a hand with this. It's very difficult, and with a game like Escape from Tarkov, the thing that really propped it up was players making all of those tutorials. And that's perfectly fine. I do think the devs could have done a better job at explaining how to play their game on that one, or including features in the game that are necessary to play the game, but that's a different game. So they don't need to copy everything that Escape from Tarkov did. It's not like those guys actually know what they're doing. They had a couple aspects to their game that were just really good and propped up a whole bunch of stuff to their game that was honestly really bad. Ooh, green magic staff. Don't mind if I do. With magical damage bonus. But yeah, guys, if you are free to play, don't think that you are missing out on a ton of the experience. You still have all of the maps. You have the whole gameplay except for High Roller, which High Roller, it ranks up the mobs 1 tier. So they're all elite mobs. And it also means that you will get the most unbalanced gameplay possible. Because people just make all sorts of sets that are min-maxed to all hell, and they will beat you up very badly. I mean, shoot, I've got 250 hours in this game, and I was having a struggle with it, and I've kept up to date with all of the changes and all of that jazz, and I understand how the items work, and I've watched plenty of videos on this game, and yeah, you guys are going to get beat up if you try and play on High Roller. Honestly, it's a good thing. Another issue I'm seeing is there's this 3-day lockout period if you go ahead and buy the game where you cannot play High Roller, and I think that is just foolish. I think that's for keeping cheaters out, but honestly, it's very harmful to the new players of the game. I understand they're trying to make it so they can't just farm up like 10,000 gold on normals and then buy an account, and then they already have 10,000 gold, so it's a lot easier to go and say, hey, we got a bunch of money here, let's go ahead and just buy an account, and then we can trade it over and automatically have the account paid for because that's how much that gold's worth or whatever. I wouldn't worry about that so much. It's detrimental to the new player experience. There's a certain point where you just got to go, hey, the cheaters are going to get away with some things here and there, but we got to let the new players play. I think the biggest thing is, too, if you keep a healthy player base, the cheaters are much, much less impactful. If this game had 100,000 concurrent players, but then it had 200 Chinese players who are cheating all the time, I don't think it'd be a problem. Or at least not nearly as much of a problem. Of course, any cheaters is still a problem. Anyone who's like breaking the rules or doing gold trading or any of that stuff for real world money, those people need to be stopped. But it's just significantly less of a problem then. Also, guys, if you are newer, I highly recommend breaking barrels like what I'm doing here. A lot of people don't do this. They give you some good XP, if I remember correctly, and they will also give you some very good items very quickly. Like, you just get a ton of items out of them, and so you can gear up super quick. Also, for the player base being so much larger, I know I just had a rubber band right there, but I have not really been experiencing any major server issues or anything, which is good. I hope this doesn't keep up, because that might mean I'm desynced, but if you guys have played Escape from Tarkov at all, you'll know that every time the game wipes, it's basically unplayable for about a full week on high hours, on like high play hours. So if you're playing like right after work gets off or something, you just can't play the game because the queue times will be an hour and a half, or the lobbies will lag like crazy, stuff like that. My gear is very, very good for a normals lobby right now. I looted up very quickly. I could beat the crap out of someone. Come on, where is everyone? Also, this is a static extract right here, guys. This little blue stairs right here that's currently fogged over opens up at a certain amount of time towards the close of the game. It's an easy way to extract, although they will normally be PvP hotspots. And once again, for any of you new players who are trying to find how to extract or any of that stuff, also, these little blue stones come out of the ground that you got to press F on, and then it will open up a portal. Those only open up towards the end of the game, so you have to survive for a long match. If you're dying to PvE right now, don't worry about it. I'd recommend you just keep playing, and don't try and do this thing where people try and tell you play super slow or anything like that. Just go ahead, play fast. It's fine, and you will learn. All right, I guess that's a full game then. I'm getting out of here because I am desyncing from this match. I need out.